Yeah, what's up? What's going on, everybody? It's Super Dave, PA Political Revolution Podcast. We are back once again with a good short episode, man. We really getting down to the nitty gritty. We really trying to put pressure on these council members. We're trying to put pressure on these council members and try to make all these council meetings and all of these things transparent, right? So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna go ahead and bring you a little bit into this council meeting. We're gonna go ahead and show you why we're having an issue with getting these streets right. The name of this is Ron Burton, the city manager, makes council member Thomas Kinlaw look like a fool, right? And now basically what's gonna go ahead and set the precedence for this, right? Set the foundation for this, what you're gonna be expecting. Councilmember Kinlaw specifically gave a direct order to Ron Burton, the city manager, to go ahead and have somebody to speak with them about streets. And this is a big thing in Port Arthur, right? And what's a shame is they don't make this trash transparent, right? They don't make it transparent and make it it's like they hiding something. They always got to be hiding something. It's like it's a game when it comes to these streets and getting something done. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of be talking through this or whatnot, kind of doing a little commentary.
And think you're leaving with a directive and what the consensus is. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate
Now,
it.
we'll move swiftly to our next item, which would be in petitions and communications. And we have, for discussion, a detailed report on street improvement projects as requested by Councilmember Dr. Kinlaw. Are we ready? Is the staff person available for that? Or city manager?
Not that I'm aware of. Councilman Kinlaw had to meet with the staff person yesterday. What happened to that?
We had a meeting, her and I, we did not have a meeting, but I wanted to, and I put this on there right after the last meeting, that I wanted to get a detailed account of your street program by districts, because as we started this street program, so many dollars were supposed to be invested, so I need to get it was in a timely manner.
Now, see, basically what's going on, right? The city manager straight disrespect Councilmember Dr. Kinlaw, right? Straight disrespect him. He told them to have this on the agenda, right? They were supposed to speak to this in front of the citizens, but the city manager got some shit to hide, man. They got so much shit they want to hide over there. They're not doing the streets, man. This is direct proof that they're not doing the streets because they want to hide something. They don't want to talk about this in front of citizens. They don't want the citizens to know what's going on. They just want to keep lying and lying and lying to the citizens. Now they make this man look like a fool. He told them, bring somebody up there. Hell, if the city manager's on top of his game, he should be able to answer any and all questions with the drop of a dime, but he act like he doesn't have some of the information. We'll go ahead and continue.
So we're not going to do like we did, a couple of months ago, when you put something on the agenda, nobody is there to present it. So somebody need to come today and present this information, because we started this and we were, allocating so many dollars that we're going to do in each district. So, it's been 2 or 3 years into this project, this street project. So I did not have the chance to meet with your director yesterday, but this still was on there for just as it says, a detailed report on the street improvement projects by districts.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding. I just spoke to the officer yesterday, and she told me that the councilor had to meet with her to discuss.
Yeah, but
the project.
I just told you I didn't meet with her yesterday about it. I did not meet with her yesterday about it because I had a conflict.
See, again, he's trying to get Kinlaw to talk with him in private, right? This is a goddamn direct violation of the Open Meetings Act, right? This is a violation of the Open Meetings Act. All the things that's supposed to be talked about in council should be talked about in council. You shouldn't be hiding anything from council that's not a closed session item. So this shit is sick. Citizens, you really have to see that this is a major problem when you have city manager hiding information from you, right? City manager staff deliberately hiding information from the public.
I had another meeting.
Yeah.
But this was on here right after I put this on the next day after the last council meeting to get this information. Because we're continually doing streets. I have a ton of information I like to ask that's dealing with District 3, finding out the percentages, finding out which streets were undone this past budget year, also which department would be responsible for maintaining the work or going out and ensuring the contractors are actually doing their jobs. These are the questions that I'm hearing on a daily basis from citizens. You know, why we can't get the streets done? Why can't we get potholes done? Why can't we get all of those things done? So today, I wanted to get that information to find out who's responsible for ensuring that people are out there doing what they need to do, contractors, and of course, you know, what percentage of the streets have been done in each district, of course. Also, the data, finding out the data. You know, we spent a lot of money, $90,000, to have a truck to go throughout the city to find out which streets and the level of streets of damage. So also that data as well, because I reviewed that last night.
Okay. So, Councillor, go ahead and propose your question, and I will attempt to answer those questions, as well as I will attempt to ask the Public Works Director to answer those questions as well, if I can.
Okay. Well, I go straight into it. You know, which department is responsible for the daily and weekly or monthly inspections of the streets when they're getting done in Port Arthur? Because what I'm getting and what I'm seeing, that we have a lot of damaged streets that they have to go back and redo. So which department is responsible, or what person goes out to ensure that street repairs, reconstructions, or constructions are actually done? Who's the person that I can call or you can call that say, hey, I done went out there, instead of 3 weeks later that somebody go out there and say this contractor hadn't been to work in 3 weeks?
The Department of Public Works is the overall department that's responsible for construction and reconstructions of streets in the city of Port Arthur. There is rank and file staff, superintendents, and inspectors who are responsible on a daily basis.
See what he needs to do. He needs to give him a direct person. Who is the main person that's over it? If it's the Public Works Director, you know, say it so. If it's the street superintendent, let it be known. But Ron Burton is playing stupid, right? He's giving you the department. He's giving you the rank and file people. What he needs to give you is a direct person in the department. He said the Public Works Department, who in the Public Works Department is responsible, overall responsible for it.
To provide assistance to contractors to make sure that they operate within the contracts that have been issued to the various contractors for the rehabilitation and reconstruction of streets.
Okay. How frequently are your staff going out there and visiting these?
On a daily basis. These people come to work on a daily basis.
The city manager,
and they are out there on a daily basis,
they're supposed,
attending to the jobs that they are assigned to as city employees.
Well, city manager, that's not happening, and I'm going to tell you that. So I hear you saying it on a daily basis. It's supposed to happen, but if we identify something, we should try to fix it. So it's not happening on a daily basis that they're going out there, because I'm also talking with the contractors, you know, so that's not happening. Also, this last budget year, how many streets were unfinished that were proposed this previous budget that were not finished?
I don't have those figures at my disposal, but I'm sure that the Public Works Director has.
Now, he needs to have that information, right? He knows that streets been a priority in this, and he should have that information on hand. That the Public Works Director should have it on hand. He should have it off the top of his head, really, truthfully.
And I would be happy to provide you with a list of those streets at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Public Works Director, please make a note of that so that we can provide the entire council with a list of streets that has been completed.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Dead-end streets. We should not be doing dead-end streets. I don't know why and how that got on our list, some of our lists. I have a couple. We should not be doing dead-end streets with no houses. So that was a question I would like to get answered by either you or your staff.
Well, I can answer that question.
Okay.
Each council district Each councillor has chosen he or she to complete streets in their district.
Yes.
That is their jurisdiction. I cannot determine that for a council member. If a council member has chosen to allocate resources to a dead-end street, that is the responsibility of a council member, and I cannot that has been part of the practice, that has been part of the policy in the past. So if council wants to change that policy, you have to do that as a body. You have to come to a common agreement to do that as a body.
Well, that's not the issue. That's not the issue that we hadn't came to a body. The problem is that when we have our list and when we get our list back, I have those on my. That's not the problem that we hadn't came to a consensus. The problem is, why are they being put on the districts to compare or repair these streets when I had no knowledge of that? And I've made all my appointments with your staff and with you about which streets in my district that needs to be repaired. So that's not happening.
Well, let me apologize.
Okay.
If it's a staff decision, and staff is not supposed to determine what streets that are to be repaired without the approval of the assigned council district. It has always been the picking of the councillor to choose as to what streets, based on the technical expertise of staff. We provide you with the data that has been generated by the studies that was done, and the streets are being chosen by the 4 councillors of the 4 districts. That is also shared with, as far as I remember, is also being shared with by the other council members at large.
Okay. Well, let's do this, City Manager. I don't want to kind of put you on the spot or not having the information that I require. I'm going to pull this and put it back on the agenda for next council meeting so we can get this data that I would be satisfied along with other council members, because I think I've been a team player. And, I don't think that what's been happening, we should have the data, and that's me. I love data. I want to see for myself. I don't want to hear what people have to say. I just want to see the data and find out how we can do better in the city and also in my district. So I would hold off, and Mayor, I would want to make a motion that I table this item and bring it back on next council meeting, because we don't have anyone to get this information. You have to get this information. So I want this to be openly for the record that we can find the solutions to these problems.
Okay. Now, let us be very clear on this now. The data that you're requesting is the data on streets that have been completed.
Now, see, the city manager, Ron Burton, is playing real stupid right here, right? He thinks Kinlaw is an idiot. Now, Kinlaw probably is the smartest one out the bunch on the council right now. But Ron Burton thinks Dr. Kinlaw is stupid because he's acting like he don't know what he wants. This man has been hearing streets for the whole time he been as a city manager. He should know everything that any of the council members need to know on the streets. He wants to know what's been done, what's not been done, but he's trying to get Dr. Kinlaw to go ahead and forget what he's saying, right? To try to forget what questions he need to ask him so he can say, hey, you told me that, bring you this question. So he really need to get a whole detailed report, everything about the streets, bring all the information that you can about the streets so Dr. Kinlaw, anybody else can ask. That's simple, man. It's point blank, but they think Kinlaw is stupid.
I have a list. And I can get with you after this meeting, or I can get with you sometime when you're available to kind of go over some of my concerns. I also wanted to find out how many streets were not done last budget year. I also want to find out what you told me, who's the person that's responsible for going and ensuring that our streets are being done.
See, again, he asked him who's the person that's responsible. He didn't tell him the person. He keep bullshitting Kinlaw and told him a department. Now, he's asked, I think that may have been the 3rd time after he said department, he said a person. He wants to get a person that's actually a tangible person that he can go to and say, hey, you're the one at fault. You're the one supposed to be the expert on what's going on in the streets.
Done properly. I also wanted to find out about the dead streets that we were repairing, and as well as the percentage of streets in each district that are done as of date. Not keep looking at the old budgets and saying this is what we've done. No, as of date, how many streets in each district has been completed or have been repaired?
We can provide that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Councilman Kinlaw,
Yeah.
you were speaking and you said you did make a motion.
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, I got a second, Mayor Pro Tem. But no, he said he was making a motion. I was
You
second.
Now listen, Mayor Boy T, right? Still after what, 2 or 3 years? Yeah, 2 years. We going on with 3 for re-election. Still does not know how to conduct a council meeting. Now the reason that I'm saying this right now, right? Listen to how he's stumbling over a job that he should be doing from day to day to day, even when he's on Zoom. From Zoom, man, look, he should know this off the top of his head. Now, watch how he's stumbling on a job that he does at least 2 times a month, right? 2 council meetings a month. Still has no clue what's going on, what the dog gonna say. And now I'm saying this because now this is gonna be on another video. He's gonna act like he's a expert on something. Watch. Don't have a clue on conducting a meeting, just reading stuff off a list, but gonna act like he's a subject expert on other things. But I'm going to get that a little bit to that later.
Posted for
table
action.
it.
You're posted for a
So
discussion.
you want to just bring it back for discussion?
So
Yeah, there's no action item that has been
okay,
posted.
I'm good.
But
But
if
he
you
said
wanna-
If I want to,
I was recognizing that.
Okay, you can't make a motion based.
Basically, what they're saying is since there was a discussion brought up by Dr. Kinlaw, and it was not a voting item, right? It's not voting on the contract or voting to do something. It doesn't have to be tabled. You only table those items that you actually vote on. So since that was discussion, he could just discussion be over. He could just pull up for another discussion at the next council meeting. That's basically all this goddamn rumbling and shit they talking about.
On the way it's posted. It was posted for a discussion, but
Discussion,
if
so-
there's action you need
Okay.
to take, we
Okay,
can
so no
post it.
action was on. Okay.
No action at
All
this
right.
time.
So,
All right.
all right. Well, thank you. And, okay. And I think the understanding, city manager, we've had a discussion. He's going to provide what you would need.
yeah. Well, you're saying that we have to possibly take action on this discussion, and we just can't table
no,
this
we'd have to-
discussion.
It'd have to be posted.
Okay. Well,
So-
I'll put it back on.
Yeah, next time.
Okay.
For next, but I think it's the 28th. When the next meeting?
28. I'll put
Yeah.
it back on.
Okay, go ahead, Councilman Marks.
I thought we had agreed as a council and with the city manager in a previous meeting that we were going to, especially after the reports that were given at the last meeting, that we would be looking for reports from staff on a regular basis, not every
think-
department, every meeting, but every meeting, we were going to be getting reports from staff as to what activity was going on in those departments, especially regarding streets. So this was just on for discussion. We can bring it back next week, and I'm in total agreement with Councilman Kinlaw that we need to see what's going on, because as the newest council, as one of the newest council members here, I did not get to participate in choosing any streets in my district, and I have the largest district, so those were already chosen.
But the thing is, right, you should have got with Mr. Harold Doucette in your district and talked to him about what some of the things you need to be doing as far as like getting some of these streets. You had ample opportunity, Mr. Marks, to go ahead and get some help and go ahead and try to better understand your job, right? But I understand you believe this is like a 9 to 5, 3 days out the week type of gig. Now, if you don't want to put all the work into it, Mr. Marks, I would suggest that you try to find another profession, brother, and let somebody else that has the time and has the desire that wants to go ahead out and be an actual council member with District 4, let them do that. But you should have been researching all of this before. You had ample time and access to people that has the know-how, that has the information on doing all of this. So when you receive money from the one of the Port Arthur PACs, right, they had some training classes you to go to. So man, if you really wanted this, there's no reason why you should not know Mr. Moss, because you had ample time and access to people Mr. Du said that was willing to help you make a good transition. There's no reason you should be an unsatisfactory council member.
So I don't have a problem with that, but I do think that we as a council need to see exactly what we requested come before us on a regular basis.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good with that.
Okay. Okay. And if not, so we are actually through with this item because there's no action on it. We've had a discussion. Am I correct? Okay. And also just to answer you, we do have a report. As we talked about, I don't know if you all had gotten the email yesterday. It's supposed to be a little later on or something. I believe I thought it was on this for today that we have decided waste would be the report for today, according to what you were saying. Now, our next item of in discussion is a detailed report on vacant job positions by Human Resources, and we have Ms. Williams coming forward. And this was all.
That's another item that Dr. Kinlaw pulled up.
Also requested by Councilman Kinlaw.
Let me ask them, the director, to have the councilor make his presentation first, and then you respond to it.
Okay. What do you want me to do, Ron?
For the detailed report, what is it that you requested?
Just as we talked about.
Now, Ron Burton, the sneaky son of a gun, right? Now, what he's trying to do is to keep the HR director from actually speaking too much, right? So he pretty much wants her to speak when spoken to, so she don't divulge too much information. It doesn't make any goddamn sense for the city manager to tell the HR director to don't wait till the council person asks the question. I mean, why do you have to say that? Why do you have to say that? You know he wants something information about jobs. What is it said?
About a month and a half ago, we had over 70 vacancies. We needed to find out why. We said that, or you said that your staff said that job description had to be revised to hire people from Port Arthur. We also gave about 300,000.
Wow, that was sad. Something had to be revised to hire people from Port Arthur. PA, this is why you can't get no jobs right here. This is why you can't get no jobs. These people are incompetent. They playing stupid. Now watch. After the council gets in their ass, now they can automatically hire a whole bunch of people. This shit is sad. They just lazy. They don't want to do the work. A lot of these people don't give a damn. These council members don't give a damn because they getting free goddamn favors from the city manager, free stuff from the city, all this bullshit, right? So they don't feel like they have to enforce any goddamn thing the city manager does.
$1,000 for you put in their police department budget to attract veteran officers as well as hiring practices. So I just want to know where we at, because if we had 70-something vacancies about a month and a half ago, where we at today, and that was something else we just said as a council that we wanted to get updated information, and it's been, right at 2 months. So we're just trying to figure out what we can do. And also you said that, we had about 4 or 5 jobs that were on our budget over a year. And I just want to see where we at with those as well. Why haven't we taken those jobs away? What's the intention of those jobs? And what's the plan in the future?
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Of course, filling job vacancies for HR is important. It's one of our top priorities. Based on our last vacancy report given on September 14th, the vacancy list has decreased significantly. The last vacancy listing yielded approximately 70 positions. Today, it has been reduced to 42 positions. The number may fluctuate, of course, with terminations, retirements, and resignations. However, the listing as of today has been reduced by 60%. Next slide, Lindsay.
28 goddamn jobs, right? They reduced the number by 28 jobs and 70 vacancies. Reduced it by 28. Merely just jumping on their ass. See, this is the council's job. They're supposed to put pressure on the city manager So the city manager can put pressure on the staff and lead the department heads and direct them, hey, you need to get all of this done. But nothing is getting done. That's why you can't get jobs. That's why you can't get streets. That's why you have a whole plethora of problems within the city, because nobody wants to do their goddamn job. When I'm talking about management, right? If the city manager and the council, right? Well, if the council knew what the hell they was goddamn doing and they wasn't lazy on their goddamn ass, right? And really the only reason why Dr. Kinlaw is asking is because he's been having pressure from the goddamn citizens. So, citizens, you need to put pressure on their ass if you want to goddamn get hired, get streets done, or anything goddamn else in the city, basically.
This is just simply a chart stating, what positions we had vacant in September of this year in a comparison to this month of 2021. So I just broke it down by like major departments, utility ops, public works, parks and recreation, and then I combined all other departments. Next slide, Lindsay. As of last month, we had one termination, approximately 4 resignations, and 3 retirements. And this month, again, we had 1 termination, 2 resignations, and 4 retirements. We're constantly getting retirements in. We have some that we're actually working on now, but they haven't been finalized. Next slide, Lindsay. And, of course, you all want a report from each department, quarterly, monthly, however it's going to go. My next steps for my department is to issue you a quarterly report, which will include the number of applicants we receive, the number of new hires and terminations, grievances and appeals, civil service information, different trainings, safety meetings, and our accident review board meetings. So are there any questions? Are there any specific questions that I can answer for you?
Yes, Director Williams. So you're saying in a month and a half we've hired 28 people?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what would you think will be the reason why that we're able to hire so many people in a short period of time?
Because we've been on the departments, as you all have requested, to get the proper documentation in, to get the interviews going. Our pre-employment process has been moving smoothly. So we're just...
See, once council gets on the city manager ass, right? City manager gets on the HR. HR gets on the departments. Go ahead and expedite these hirings to get everything lined up, man. Just get everything lined up. And now, since you have more people in the place, you can go ahead and get some things done. So the city was at fault for a lot of these goddamn jobs, right? So now this is what you need to know. This is why it's good to have council meetings, right? This is good to have them talk. But a lot of these goddamn clowns wanna goddamn wanna hide all this from you, right? That's why they don't want you to. They don't want transparency. They lie to you, man. You gotta stay on these crooks' behinds, man, because they doing something illegal, right? Well, allegedly, right? But you gotta just keep watching these clowns. You gotta watch them, man. They just lie. They don't want to do their jobs, and when they should be, in servicing the city, right? And it's nothing but PA people. This is at Port Arthur, man. We deserve better than this bull trash here.
On a roll right now.
Well, I want to say thank you to you and your department, and that's what we want. If we're going to have jobs, we budgeted for jobs, we need to hire people from Port Arthur. Mm-hmm. And I know that a month and a half ago, we had a great concern that we had over 70 individuals, jobs that were available due to some technicality on revised job descriptions. Mm-hmm. So thank you again for and making sure that we start hiring people and getting people out in the fields to do the jobs that we require.
And again, we are still working on some of those job descriptions, but we're working on them to get those people in those positions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem Frank.
Yes, thank you so much for your report, and thank you for that, for filling those positions. And I want to thank the city manager as well. I know that when you stood at the dais the last time, stood before the dais, you were talking about the fact that those requests had not been generated by the department heads. How's that going?
That's going really well now.
Great.
Now she just said they're working on it. Now Frank want to act like he has something to say about it, act like he has a question. We don't have no goddamn question. They just said this shit in the damn conversation. He just want to be a part of this shit. Now I think Cal Jones about to say something too.
Right.
Yes,
right.
sir. We're getting them in constantly. Of course, if there's something that's not correct on there, we'll send them back and work with them to make sure that they have the accurate information. But they have been working with us really well.
Thank you, Councilman Jones.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Mr. Williams, you see you had 4 resignations.
Yes, sir.
How many terminations you had?
One last month, one this month.
2 terminations, and how many?
Now he just had a goddamn slide up there. Now he wasting everybody's time with some information that he could have just easily wrote the hell down.
Retirements?
4 last month, 4 this month.
In retirements. Okay. 12. Okay. Thank you for filling those vacancies. Like you all caught a fire in the last month or so. Thank you, city manager, because you got to sign up on everything that you know. You got to sign up on everything we have. You got to sign up on it. So thank you so much too for putting the pedal to the metal. How many vacancies do we have in the police department? You have an idea?
I'm sorry.
Police department.
How many vacancies do we have?
Yeah, police department.
We got like maybe four new positions, and I think people are going through pre-employment, so we might be down to how many, Chief?
Probably about 12.
Still
How many?
12.
12 vacancies in the police department.
Yes.
We buying these guys new cars and get them new equipment. Let's put some people in these seats and behind these wheels. So
We're planning another entry-level police exam very, very soon because the other list has been exhausted.
okay, Chief, you have an idea when you go? You gonna come on up, speak to this? That's we buying your cars and jackets and shirts and jeans and this.
What else you guys want to buy us? We're around 12 vacancies, but as you guys know, it's a process. It takes probably 6 months, 7 months just to get somebody in. We just can't hire them. We need to do a background, polygraph, psychological, physical. So it's a process. But we're doing it. HR is taking care of
So
us.
the ball is rolling. Everything's
Ball's
moving?
rolling.
Okay.
The city manager's on us. Every Friday we get an email saying, get something done. Let's hire some people.
Okay. Thanks, Chief. Let's get
Okay.
yeah, that's good.
Is there
Thank you.
anything else you guys want to give us?
Yeah, we got someone to give you. If you don't have the vacancy,
I don't-
I got someone to give you. You might
I
not
don't
like
think
it.
so,
Though.
Chief.
Hold up, Chief.
Okay, Councilwoman Moses.
Yes, Tramika, thank you for this report. I am really excited about the hiring of those employees that you've hired and gotten that list down because it was quite alarming to see 78 vacancies in
Yes,
Port
ma'am.
Arthur, and to be down to the number
42.
to 42 is that's some work.
And we're constantly working on it. So
Well, I know what work that's some work. I worked there 20 years in HR, so. I know what you guys are doing, so y'all really made some things happen to get that done. Thank you. I just want to thank the city manager for pressing and knowing what the council's goal was to get positions filled, and y'all did it, made it happen. Tell your staff thank you. We really appreciate the hard work.
I will.
Thank you.
Okay, hold on, Councilman Kinlaw. Yes.
Director Williams, question about since we put some extra funding in the police budget, well, how are you getting officers, veteran officers, as well as the hiring of officers that have tenure? Do you find it difficult to try to do that? And I think that was the goal of us sitting that money over there.
Well, what my office does is administer the entry-level test.
Uh-huh.
Chief does all the rest
Come on
of
back
it,
up here,
so-
Chief.
We got something for you.
Oh yeah. I stopped the video earlier, right? If they didn't have any audio to it, I had the gain down. But if you didn't hear me then, I said it couldn't have been a whole bunch of work done when you're done in a month and a half because they lit a fire on your behind. That's because they wasn't doing it. Right here, right. What Dr. Kinlaw said the 300,000, right? The allocated budget gave him 300 more thousand. Now I don't know how that's supposed to help hire some more fire people, but hell, we'll see.
Come on back up here.
Yeah, you asked for some jeans and jackets, so. How do you feel that, is it still challenging that, the whole purpose of we doing that budget and revising the budget for your department is to attract veteran officers to get them over here with tenure, with, supervisory skills, that we can get those individuals at a speed process. So you still saying it's going to take 6 months to do that?
In some cases, yes. What we've done, we have, I think, 3 officers that left because they looked across the fence and saw some grass that was greener or a little higher or whatever it was, and now they're on the way back. They're in the process now. So we're going to try to speed them through the process. Then we have 3 that are in the academy, and that's based on allowing us to hire while they're in the academy.
That's sort of like that bootstrap program we used to have back.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. EDC, what they're doing also is they're paying for Port Arthur residents to go to the academy.
Wow. Thank you.
Now, the EDC's also putting money into it, but now we still haven't answered the question, what is the additional $300,000 being put in the police department? What is that for? Now, also, the police department has been having like a high budget also. So, what? Now, if you remember that Ike money that we got screwed over, that we had to pay back, it was an original $10 million, but we got this company called Chiron or Rion or something with A, and then now we're gonna pay $1 million. Remember, if you remember, they had a news article stating that they took that money out of the police department. So we have these departments overpadded with funds. What we need to do is, when you're doing a budget, right, they're supposed to have a good budget that's for the department, right? An accurate count of the money that they need. Now, if they have something they're going to have them go into overage, right, they need to come to council for that. Now, what a lot of people have been saying, right, they've been over padded. So whenever the police run over a mailbox or something, hit somebody or tear up another one of them vehicles, then they'll just use the extra money to go ahead and get it fixed, and nobody say anything. What they need to do is and nobody get disciplined. What they need to do is come to the council for that money to get that replaced. That's how it should be. That's how a budget's supposed to be. Streamlined to what you need. And if you need something, go to council, and it's just to have transparency. And if it's a problem, it gives the chance for the council and the city manager and the citizens to look at that, and also for the council member manager go ahead and change some directives and be a better watchdog of the citizens' money, right? And also hold these departments better accountable.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Williams. Thank you, Chief.
Okay. Well, Ms. Williams, thank you again. Chief Benson, you see, we have, you started something, you raised the bar, but I have a former Lincoln High student, one of my students, she came.
Now, listen to this crazy-ass cat shit right here that Boy T is about to talk. This is something that's going to be completely off topic. Just some clown shit. Listen to this.
When people just give a report, I just had to say that, y'all. And it's for the record, we appreciate it. You were the city manager's choice. I see you came in with a nice doctoral prepared report, but I have my student from Lincoln who's also a University of Phoenix graduate as well, right?
Yes.
And she brought it, and I have some others. And just as you said, Councilman Marks, and I want to commend staff. You are doing what we are.
What's all this crazy ass kissing of staff, right? You're just kissing staff's ass when you just had to tell staff to get on them to do their fucking job. Now, I don't know what staff has on them, but this is some weird ass shit. You got Bart T up in here just hollering, giggling, doing all kind of crazy. They must have something on them. They have to have something on them. If they doing all this ass kissing and not really doing their job and overseeing what's going on until citizens have to complain, and then you have to get in their ass to go ahead and fill some goddamn job. Something ain't right with this.
Expecting, and we appreciate it. But to my little bumblebee, I appreciate it.
No. Thank you.
What is this crazy shit? Look at this.
Okay, and y'all know I was going to say it. Okay, now, because Charles, didn't you graduate in TJ? Excuse me, I didn't. That's not on here.
It's not on that, Charlotte.
Yeah, actually, look at TJ. Look at him, man. Look at this shit. Just giggling at this shit like this motherfucker on drugs, man. Look at this shit in a council meeting. Now, when you have people that don't have a clue what they're doing, don't have a clue on their jobs, they're going to revert to what they know, right? And what they know, what the mayor knows is the bullshit and the goddamn preach. So they just going into some childlike type shit that they know they can do, right? So this is crazy.
Okay. Now we're ready to move to our reports for items of community interest. For any council person would have.
Now that community interest shit, they're about to go on some crazy shit right there. I'll just do that another time, right? I'll do that crap at another time. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is the problem we have right here. We have council members wanting to go along to get along, being team players, when nothing is getting done. They're compromised where they're allegedly getting favors from staff, from the departments, where they can't actually do their job and actually oversee them. They can't really force them to do anything because they're receiving favors from city manager, allegedly, or some of the departments. I mean, it's crazy. So the job is left up to us citizens. We have to watch all this crazy cat shit they have going on over here. And you need to stay in everybody's ass whenever we're trying to get something done. Whenever we're trying to get these streets done, we're trying to get this money right. We're trying to get people hired in Port Arthur these jobs. So make sure you stay in everybody's ass. And that's a quick episode of the PA Political Revolution podcast. And everybody out there, peace.